Hello guys, this is a quick tutorial on how to use your arcade. Now, most likely I installed a emulation station, which is a RetroPie emulation to play all of your old retro games. As I stated in the comment, the board that you're dealing with is a against RetroPie emulator, which is run on a single board computer. This single board computer is a Pi 3. What that means is it's a simple board computer, not very powerful, but it will run all of these games. Now there's about 10,000 games available, most likely when I ship, unless stated otherwise to be either less or significantly more games. You'll get that type of system. Now it will run all the games that are there flawlessly except for 64. It won't run any PSP, and it won't run a lot of the Dreamcast games. Now, why would I include it if it doesn't run it? Because a lot of people, they do a lot of modding themselves. They have that option if they want to upgrade the motherboard themselves. They can, and at least now they have a cabinet and everything to do so. So let's give a quick walkthrough, okay? When you start up, when you boot it up, you're going to have a different screen depending on what I shipped, or depending on what your request was. You might have a different intro where you're going to have either a comic book theme, or you're going to have a Pac-Man, you're going to have, you know, a movie theme, you're going to have dancing girls going in there, superheroes flying by, and then it's going to say emulation station, and you're going to come up to a screen that looks similar to this. Now, let me go through how do you navigate to your games. Now, you're going to have the screen come up. You're going to start off with Atari, because it's going to go from alphabetical order. And then you'll be able to scroll over to your desired system. Okay? That's all it does. It just scrolls over to your desired system. So, just a quick go through. I'm going to stop here at RetroPie. So, in RetroPie, this has all the in-game menu, well, the emulation menus into this here. Now, you have your analog stick. This analog stick here, or I should say your control stick, it can become an analog stick or it can become a D-pad just by hitting the mode button. The mode button might be different. It could be here, it might be over here, it might be on the side, it might be in the front, depending on how I sold you the cabinet. Now, when you select this button, mode, you notice that nothing works. You select it again, and now you see that everything works. Certain games only work with a D-pad, and certain games only work with an analog stick. So just to do a quick comparison, here you go, an old GameCube controller. This would be a D-pad. This would be the analog. Certain games only work with a D-pad, and certain games only work with an analog. So if you come across a game and your controls are not working, it's because you need to change the input. Or if you're playing a PlayStation game where you need to go to a D-pad to access certain menus, you can hit that, access the menu, hit that back, and to move your character around. Now, the way that I have this set is I have this as the B button, I have this as the A button, X, Y, and these the L and R. This is how you select into the menu. And as you can see, I'm in here. Then you go down. These buttons here give you a quick. Now look how it jumps. And that's me by pressing this button here. And go same thing going up. Or if you want to go to a certain game, you can go into coin. And it gives you this option here. You go through A through Z to select whatever game you want. Boom. And then it allows you to go to there. So that's it. And how to select the game from here, it's real simple. You just go straight to your game, the game you want, and you're going to select the same button here. It's going to go through this little screen. Your loading screen will be different based upon what I sold you or based upon what you requested. It's going to have this. Now, most games require you to press coin to start. Some of them you can just press the A button here. All right, and then as you can see, the game starts. Okay, now when you are here, you know, you can do whatever. And die. All right, so this is a basic Sega game. So now how to get out of this? I have it set that you press both the coin and the start button at the same time, and it resets right back to your menu. So that's how you get out of games. Just press both of those buttons and you're back. If you're playing Dreamcast, you just press the coin button and it automatically takes you out. So press the back button again, and you go right back to your screen. Select what you want, and you're ready to go. Now these are the arcade perfect machines. Arcade. So anything that you played in the arcade, MAME is your go-to. Final Burn Alpha is your go-to. These are all will give you. Now a lot of these Atari games are Atari perfect, but they also arcade as well. Now a lot of these games here are also in Final Burn Alpha as well as MAME. So that's it. So now let's go to the next step. How to configure your buttons. Let's say you want this to be A and this to be B. Okay, how do you do that? That's good. So you're going to go to Start, and you're going to get this menu. All right. You don't need to know about all of these. You can YouTube all the rest. If you're an advanced user, you probably already going to know. Sound settings, the sound settings is what it is. Up, down volume. If you're going to add more speakers to it, you can do that. User interface, game setting selections, other settings. But the only two that you're going to have to know as a beginner are configure input, which I'm going to go to. Now, I'm not going to go through it because I have this machine set up a certain way. But I'm going to press the select button. On your default, it's going to have the second button on the bottom is going to be your A button, and it's going to be your B. Boom. It's going to ask you, do you want to configure input? You say yes, and it's going to give you A, B, X, Y, L, and R, and then R2 and L2, and you can configure your buttons any way you want. So you could change them. I'm not going to go through that step. But you could do that to change your buttons. Now, the most important thing is that you do not want to corrupt your memory card. This is all run on a micro SD card. You do not want to do that. So what you want to do is to shut it down properly. How you shut it down is go again to Start, which is going to be your little the little man symbol. As a player 1 symbol and a player 2 symbol. It works in either one. If yours just has just this alone, or this with the 4 buttons instead of the 6 buttons, it's still going to be the same. You're going to press your player 1 button, and it's going to give you this screen, which is called the main menu. You're going to go down to quit. You're going to press A. You're going to go down to shut down system. And then from there, just follow yes, yes, and shut it down. I'm going to shut it down for you in a minute. But so let me go over these things. You hit this, restart emulation station. What it's going to do is it's going to turn off real quick, turn back on. You're going to be right back to this menu here. If you go to restart system, it's going to shut everything down completely and boot it back up automatically. And then if you go to this one, quit emulation station, it's just going to quit this, and you're going to go right into a DOS prompt, which is going to be pretty much a black screen with a whole lot of writing on it and some coding on it. That's for advanced users. If you want to change the music, if you want to change the interface, if you want to add other stuff to it, If you can customize it yourself after you get it. So by all means, explore. But you want to just go to shut down system only. Only shut down system. Only shut down system. Only shut down system. Then from there, you want to hit that button. It's going to say really shut down. Yes, it wants you to really shut down. You hit that and it's going to shut it down. So on mine, I'm using an actual TV screen. You can see the Magnavox, and then that's it for mine. And then if it looks the same, you're going to have the power button in the back unless you request it differently. And now you can shut down the power button. Yours are also going to come with a remote control that controls the light and the light only. If you do not want the light on, you can just aim it to one of these holes here, and you can just press it. Press off, press on. You can make it strobe and do different things, which in turn you could have it just like that. Now on mine, on some of the cabinets, you have to do it from the back. And some of the bigger cabinets like this, the IR sensor would be somewhere along the bottom, kind of hidden, and you can do it from the front. I don't think I have it set up for this one, no. But on the back. All right. So let's do that. Or just turn it on again. And that's it. All of them come with a little Velcro on the side to plug it in. So this was a quick, well, not a quick, a good 12-minute plus tutorial on how to use your arcade. All right. So once everything is shut down, then you can hit your power button and turn it off. And then the same thing, turn it back on, hit the switch in the back, and everything should boot up like normal. So mine has this particular emulation station that I'm using is called a track mode, which is a completely different. It's a part of an emulation station, but it's an additive to make it have a different interface. So this one's set where I can have a different image show up every single time I turn it on. I don't have any music for this, but this is pretty much how it would look if you got this. You know, Cody's installed on some of them. There might be need to update favorites. Again, same thing. Like I said, our MAME is always there. Same thing with Final Burn Alpha and Neo Geo are all arcade perfect machines. Same thing with Cave. You can see a lot of these type of games. Atari. You know. Now, if you're looking at your Atari system and it has 3 or just has only 1, most of the emulators I have, I combine all 3 into 1. So I mean, overall, this is all the same type of thing. I mean, it's just a different overall look. You could change your themes, which I get to that in a later video on how you can change your themes. All right, this is about 15 minutes. I'm gonna stop it here. If you have any questions, you have my email, or my phone number. Take care.